So these elections are important because they're heavily monitored by the international community. Hamas runs its slate of candidates. It's certified as a free and fair election. This is 2006. And then what happens?
If I may add, not only it was heavily monitored by the international community, it was supported by the international community, and even Israel gave the permit to the Palestinians in Jerusalem to vote for those elections. And nobody asked Hamas to recognize Israel before participating to the elections. I think this is the important point, because in a way, in an ambiguous way, Hamas recognized the Palestinian Authority in participating to the elections for the parliament of the Palestinian Authority. And this was a big change inside Hamas, voted by the majority of the activists and the people of Hamas, internally voted. After that, the problem was that Hamas won the elections because probably the international community and even Israel thought that, and even Hamas thought that it could gain many votes to be a stronger opposition inside the parliament. But nobody of the actors, and also Hamas, expected for Hamas to win the elections, and it was a big success. This changed also the attitude, not only of Hamas, but of Fatah and of the international community. It means that the international community and Israel decided an embargo, a factual embargo against the government run by Hamas. And after a few months, there was a split inside the political arena, the Palestinian political arena, and Hamas did a coup in Gaza in June 2007. Fatah and the PA controlled, we know that they didn't control that much the West Bank. And after that, Israel decided to seal the Gaza Strip and detach the Gaza Strip from the Palestinian occupied territory. This, I think that the split of the unity of the territory is really the core issue nowadays, because since the beginning, since 2007, this division between West Bank and Gaza was the death of an idea of a state of Palestine.
And this was supported by Bibi Netanyahu, who saw this split as furthering his own aims to prevent a Palestinian state. Indeed, I remember I was there in Gaza when Hamas first emerged. And while it's probably not correct to say that in any way, I think as you point out in your book, that Hamas is a creation of Israel, as some have charged, but they would carry out or the Israelis who were still inside Gaza at the time would carry out far harsher forms of repression against Fatah or the PLO than they would carry out in the beginning against the Hamas figures, because they mistakenly saw these divisions within the Palestinian leadership as advantageous. Can you talk about that?
Yes, it's true. Many are saying these months that Hamas was a creation of Israel. I think it's not right, for both parties, for Israel and for Hamas. Hamas is deep inside the Palestinian society, and Israel was very repressive against Hamas, especially after 1989. In 1988, 1989, 1992, 1994, there were waves of repression of not only of leaders but of activists of Hamas, and then it started the era, or the tragic era, of the assassinations, the extrajudicial killings of the leaders of Hamas. The result was not the result Israel expected. If you think about the 2004, it was a very important year. Israel killed Sheikh Ahmed Yassin in March 2004. A month later, Abdelaziz Arantisi.
These were the co-founders.
The co-founders, yes. And after 1 year and a half, Hamas won the elections. I mean, the extrajudicial killings, they didn't have the result to cut the head of the snake and therefore kill the snake. What Netanyahu did in the most recent years was to really detach completely Gaza from the West Bank, and in this way try to overcross the Palestinians as protagonists of a negotiation. Gaza was an open-air prison, is an open-air prison. West Bank, the PA was very weak inside the West Bank. So what was the solution, according to Netanyahu? To call some Arab states to normalize the situation in the region without the Palestinians. So no Palestinian at the negotiating table. This is not the way to reach a viable solution, to reach a viable peace in respect and dignity, and the result we see now.